Hi everyone, welcome to week 2. Week 2 is going to be a continuation of week 1 in terms of the chapter. And for this week we're going to really want to focus on developing that chapter. Now we're going to use it. Now we did a discussion on it, now we're going to have a quiz on it. I think you'll find it very interesting. Now, I got a lot of questions on this, and you'll see I have a lot of ancillary materials that looks like questions that you have to complete, but they aren't. They're just more of extra things that you can evaluate in your work. And I think a lot of people like it because it adds a little dimension. It's not graded. You have the answers there, but it's a neat way to really apply what we're looking at. Now for this week, we're going to have the same thing. Read chapter 1, but now we're going to have a 10-question quiz. It's going to be 5 multiple choice, 5 true false. You're going to have 40 minutes to complete it in one attempt. Now, this quiz, we're going to go over some of the questions. Now, when you look at the financial statements like we did, you're going to look at a lot of financial turmoil, major corporate failures, major issues when evaluating that financial statement and what's being looked at on that statement. What's it presenting to us? Another question you might see. The SEC requires all companies, both public and private, to file a 10K report. Another question. Financial statements are currently prepared according to generally accepted accounting principles in the U.S. It's a very broad statement because when we look at it, what type of principles are we looking at? Another question on the quiz. The FASB was given congressional authority to write accounting rules. Now, what do we do with those accounting rules? How are they enforced? What results do they give to us? What do they interpret about the company? Another question. What are some basic financial statements? What can be found in a corporate annual report? What is something that we can see, evaluate in that corporate report? Another question. Adoption of uniform international accounting standards. When we look at accounting standards, why do they have to be uniform? Is there an international accounting standard that we should look at? Do you think that would be important for us? Another question. What is on the statement of stockholders' equity? What is it really representing to us? What is it evaluating? Why do companies have to report this stuff? Another question. What type of audit report indicates financial statements have been presented fairly? So what type of report do we look at that looks at this audit? Another question I'm having on the quiz. I'm going to give you a little, about 4 choices. You have to figure out which one is detrimental to a firm's sales and earnings. And the last question. I'm going to give you another list of 4 choices. Which one's probably the least useful when analyzing financial statements? What do you think's not as helpful for us? Now, if you look at a financial statement, if you can, basically if you read, I like to use this, if you read a nutrition label, you read a baseball box score, you can learn about the basics of the financial statement. That's what it's basically bringing out. You can follow a recipe or apply for a loan. You can learn more about basic accounting. The basics aren't difficult and they aren't rocket science either. You're going to really look at that thing where, show me the money, that Jerry Maguire movie. There are 4 main financial statements that we're going to look at. Balance sheets, income statements, cash flow statements, statements of shareholder equity. What are on all of those? What do they include? Balance sheets show what a company owns and what it owes at a fixed point in time. It's static. Income statements show how much money a company made or spent over a period of time. Cash flow statements, they show the exchange of money between a company and the outside world, also over a period of time. You know, the fourth financial statement, called the Statement of Shareholder Equity, you know, it shows changes in the interest of the company shareholders over time. What has happened with the shareholders? Why have they changed? So you have all these different things going on. But I want you to use the resources that I gave you. Look at those. Look at some of the things I gave you over the video, and that's what your quiz is going to be on. Make sure to take your quiz by Sunday night, and you only get one attempt on your quiz as well. If you have any questions, just let me know, but I look forward to another good week.